They thought they could trap me, cut me off from my own land. They were wrong. Dead wrong. The digital counter on my sleek toll booth ticked upward as luxury cars crawled through, their drivers glaring but helpless. By day 14, I had pocketed over $7,000 from the very people who had tried to destroy me. My name is Michael Bennett, and this is the story of how I turned their scheme against them. It began on a stormy night after a grueling business trip. I pulled up to my ranch, my home for 3 years, only to find concrete barriers blocking the entrance. A sign in bold letters read, "Silver Pines HOA property. Unauthorized access prohibited." Rain hammered down as I stood there, suitcase in hand, thunder rumbling. I had to park half a mile away, trudging through mud, my shoes sinking with every step. Lightning lit up the barriers, a cruel wall between me and my home. Soaked and furious, I swore that whoever did this would regret it. I'm no stranger to fights like this. At 42, I had spent 15 years as a civil engineer, mastering land disputes and property law. After my divorce, I poured my savings into this 5-acre ranch on the edge of Silver Pines Estates, Arizona. The 1920s house was a wreck, peeling paint, creaky floors, but I saw its soul. The land was a dream, rolling hills glowing at sunset, space for gardens, a pond, and room for the rescue horses I'd always wanted. The ranch shared an access road through a sliver of HOA land, but I had secured ironclad easements before buying. My weekends were spent restoring the place with my 16-year-old son, Noah, who loved it as much as I did. With my friend Caleb Foster, a local vet, we turned it into a haven complete with solar panels and grazing horses. But trouble was brewing. My neighbor, Evelyn Harper, a 78-year-old former librarian, warned me over coffee about the HOA's ambitions. "That woman running the HOA, Cassandra Hayes, has big plans," she'd say, her voice sharp and wary. Cassandra, a disgraced ex-lawyer, had lost her license over shady real estate deals. Now she ruled Silver Pines like a queen. I brushed it off. My land wasn't under their control, and my easements were bulletproof. Then came the letter. Thick, pretentious stationery from the HOA claimed my driveway violated new visual corridor standards and demanded compliance within 30 days. Attached was a plan for Silver Pines' luxury estates, with a mansion slated to replace my access road. Worse, my ranch was marked for future acquisition. My blood ran cold. County records confirmed my easement was untouchable, so I called my old colleague, Nathan Brooks, a property law expert. "They're overreaching," he said. The bylaw change was a sham. Barely 30% of homeowners had voted, and the HOA had scarcely announced it. I stormed into the next HOA meeting, documents in hand. The room buzzed with petty complaints until I took the mic. "I'm Michael Bennett, and your board is trying to steal my access road," I said, holding up my easement. "This bylaw change is illegal, and I wasn't even notified." Cassandra's smile was icy. "The board acted legally to protect property values," she purred, touting a 15% value boost from the development. Residents murmured, some nodding. I countered with their own charter. "Emergency provisions don't cover aesthetics. My easement predates your HOA by 50 years. An older man, Mr. Kararma, stood up. "What luxury development? When was this decided?" Cassandra's glare could have melted steel, but she adjourned the meeting before more questions arose. I weighed my options. Legal battles could drag on for years and cost a fortune. Then, after another trip, I returned to find the barriers up again, a smug HOA sign taunting me. Rain poured as I hiked to my house, fury boiling. This wasn't just a dispute. It was war. The sheriff called it a civil matter. No surprise, given his regular golf games with the HOA treasurer, Victor Langston. I needed a new plan. Driving home one night, I spotted a for sale sign on a 1-acre lot next to my blocked entrance, the only other way to my ranch. I called the owner, Thomas Reed, a nervous ex-contractor. Ridgeline Developments had offered him $200,000. He admitted it. Cassandra warned me to sell only to them. I saw my chance. "I'll pay $240," $1,000 cash, close in 48 hours. He hesitated, clearly fearing Ridgeline's wrath, but I reassured him. My bank manager, Laura Evans, approved a credit line, and by Wednesday, the lot was mine, thanks to a tip from HOA board member Sarah Mitchell, who whispered that Cassandra was racing to buy it. My plan? A private toll road. Noah's eyes lit up. Charge them to cross? That's genius. County rules allowed it, so I hired a trusted contractor. In 3 days, we built a toll booth, automatic arms, cameras, and a bold sign reading, Bennett Land Crossing /$50. No exceptions. Cassandra called livid. This is illegal, she screamed. No, it's business, I shot back. Better keep /$50 handy. Monday morning was chaos. Noah and I manned the booth as residents faced a choice: pay the /$50 fee or take a 6-mile detour. A woman in a BMW fumed. This is robbery. I smiled. Talk to your HOA. They blocked the public road. Some paid. Others turned back. Then Cassandra arrived with Victor and a suited man, her sedan screeching to a halt. Remove this now, she demanded. $1.50, please, I replied. Her face twisted as she reluctantly paid, muttering threats. Noah and I high-fived. By noon, the community was in uproar. An emergency HOA meeting drew a packed crowd and a reporter, Jessica Lang. Cassandra called my booth extortion, but I laid out the truth. The illegal barriers, my legal easement, and Cassandra's hidden ties to Ridgeline, specifically her brother Jonathan Pierce. The room exploded. Residents demanded answers. Jessica's articles fanned the flames. I donated $1,000 in toll money to the local animal shelter, earning more public support. On night 5, my cameras caught Cassandra, Victor, and 2 Ridgeline men smashing the booth. They fled when floodlights blared, but the footage was clear. The sheriff couldn't ignore vandalism. By the next afternoon, they were questioned, and the story hit the news. HOA president arrested. The community split. 40% backed Cassandra, tied to Ridgeline. 60% were fed up. The HOA's lawyer sought an injunction, but Judge Eleanor Grant, a fierce property rights advocate, wasn't swayed. The HOA created this mess, she ruled, denying their request. Public records exposed Cassandra's and Victor's financial ties to Ridgeline. Jessica uncovered past cases of homeowners pressured to sell. Sarah and 3 other board members defected, publicly condemning the board's actions. Then came the bombshell, an anonymous hard drive mailed to Jessica containing 5 years of HOA emails and records. A conspiracy laid bare. One email from Cassandra to Jonathan read, Bennett will sell once he's hiking in 100 degrees heat. 2 weeks tops. At the next meeting, held in a packed gymnasium, I projected the evidence for all to see. Residents gasped at recordings of Cassandra planning to harass owners. Financial records showed HOA dues funneled to private investigators targeting holdouts. My ranch was labeled a priority acquisition. Cassandra called the documents fake. I presented forensic certifications. A resident shouted, "You lied about Ridgeline." Another stood, furious, over fines for planting unapproved flowers. Cassandra's allies fell silent. By an 85% vote, the board was ousted. Sarah was named interim president. Jonathan slipped out quietly, his empire crumbling. The new board restored my easement, removed the barriers, issued an apology, and paid damages. They rewrote bylaws for transparency. The toll booth became a community kiosk, painted with wildflowers. The old concrete barriers were turned into a rock garden along a newly named path, Bennett Way. I donated $6,000 in toll money to a community support fund. Cassandra faced legal scrutiny. Her house went up for sale. Jonathan donated a small parcel of land for a park, a hollow gesture. A year later, Noah, Caleb, and I watched the sunset from the porch. The ranch thrived, expanded, and now hosted horse therapy programs. Silver Pines was reborn, transparent, united. You could have lost everything, Caleb said. Noah grinned. Dad used their rules against them. I raised my glass. Sometimes the best revenge is building something better. That toll booth didn't just collect cash, it forged a community.